You want to know who the sleaziest person in sports is? They said it was Donald Sterling. Joining us, two of the least sleazy people covering sports in this town, from Pepper on Sports, the ever classy Jackie Mesa Pepper.
Thank you.
And the host of KPCC's Take Two, A. Martinez. All right, A, you're up first. Here's your question. Who is the worst, the sleaziest person in sports?
Well, I looked at GQ's list, and there are a lot of people that have taken lives, murderers. I mean, just some pretty sleazy people. So I want to keep it light and fresh. I don't want to go that deep into this. Sepp Blatter,
Hold on. So murder does not qualify as the sleaziest person to you?
Well, no, that's
right?
villainous and murderous. I want to go like more, on the fun side. How about
that?
Yeah.
All right,
why not?
All right, Sepp Blatter. He is the head of FIFA, soccer's governing body. What other human being on the planet gets wined and dined by nation after nation just so that he can turn around and hand them a bill for billions of dollars to build stadiums that no one's ever going to use after the event's over? You got to have a conscience of what? Of nothing, to be able to actually take that money and then turn around and make sure that someone else pays a lot more for it. I'm sorry.
Well, at least your dude was getting money in return for his sleaze. I'm going old school sleaze with John Rocker, the former Atlanta Braves pitcher. Let me tell you about J-Rock over here.
90s old school. Listen to her.
Super old school. This guy in 1999 was featured in Sports Illustrated behaving very badly. He said mean things about foreigners, women with children. He even took aim at his own African-American teammate and called him a fat monkey. Are you kidding me? This guy is the worst. Oh, and he was on steroids. He is such a winner. And it would be one thing if the past stayed in the past, but John Rocker is still around. He has a website where he sells shirts that say "Speak English," and he's on the new season of Survivor. I mean, we cannot escape the wrath of the Rocker. He's disgusting.
Given what you're saying, I'm wondering, is it more important in today's world for athletes and their street cred to be famous or infamous?
Oh, that's a good question. It depends on, they say all publicity is good publicity. And I think some people really, truly believe that. And that's why their publicists call TMZ and tell them where their clients are going to be. I think a lot of guys, though, do want the good old-fashioned healthy publicity. Just being good people and good at their sport. The
villain in the movie Three Amigos, El Guapo? He was infamous. And his henchman said, "It's better than being famous. You're infamous."
That's
there
great.
you have that.
All right, we've seen plenty of controversies recently. Would it be controversial for me to say the Angels and Dodgers will face off in the World Series, or is that what is expected? Both teams near the top of the game. The Angels went on a tear, and they're leaving Oakland in the dust. They've got the best mark in baseball, do the Angels. Meantime, the Dodgers among the best in the National League. San Francisco's nipping at their heels, but either way, pretty safe bet the Dodgers will be in the postseason. But just getting there means nothing for the Dodgers and Angels. They want to win it all. Their front offices have paid to win it all. Some would say anything short of a trip to the World Series would be a failure. Jackie, I'll start with you here, and we'll start with the Angels. What has to happen this year for the Angels season to be officially a success?
Ordinarily, I would say that for a team who hasn't been to the postseason since 2009, that just making it to the big show would be a success. But not when you have the sixth highest payroll in the league, and not when you have names like Albert Pujols, Josh Hamilton, and Mike Trout on your roster. I do think winning the pennant is a must. Otherwise, especially given how good they're playing heading into the postseason at this point, they got to go almost all the way. Otherwise, it's probably an epic disaster.
Same question about the Dodgers, eh?
Well, for the Dodgers, they've been to the NLCS. They lost to the Phillies twice. And now with this ownership group, the Guggenheim Group, that's spending a lot of money on that roster, not just getting to the World Series, Fred and Jackie, they have to win it all because they have a lot more at stake to really put on the line to make sure that their fans stay loyal. Because Dodger fans have been very patient. They went through the McCord era. It's been over 25 years since the last World Series. I think they deserve something, and the Guggenheim Group wants to give it to them.
And especially considering the lack of a TV deal. I mean,
there you go. There's that.
At least if you don't have Time Warner Cable, you can watch the Dodgers in the postseason
Listen to Vin on the
Fox.
radio. There you go.
Oh, Vinny.
The thing is, given the years they've had, and they've both had great years, no matter how it plays out, they both had great years. Is anything less than reaching the World Series acceptable?
No, not for either team.
It can't be. It can't be. It'd be one thing if they were getting in as wild card teams, but these guys are at the top of their leagues. You got to go deep. You just have to.
I think it's just deeper for the Dodgers, only because of the payroll, the ownership group, and the fact that Don Mattingly, I think his job is in jeopardy. If he doesn't take them exactly where they're supposed to go, somewhere that he hasn't been before, he's in trouble.
Yeah, I was going to follow up with that. If either team, both make the playoffs, either one loses in the first round, Could that cost the manager his job?
Don Mattingly back in August made a great point. He said, what if Zach Greinke goes down? What if Hyun-Jin Ryu goes down? Then the idea, playoffs or bust, becomes nil because other factors are involved. I still want to wait a couple weeks and see how each team is doing, because what if Clayton Kershaw goes down? Then if you lose in the first round, that might be okay.
Yeah, well, because Don Mattingly's not going to pitch. We're getting down to the wire for the Angels and the Dodgers. Now, you ever think about the amount of money coming into pro sports these days? It's staggering. billion-dollar TV deals, advertising everywhere you look. And now the rich have found a way to get even richer. New NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said legalized sports gambling is inevitable in places other than Las Vegas, and, quote, "We will ultimately participate in that." For years, pro leagues have avoided the Vegas influence. They haven't wanted to be associated with gambling, wouldn't even put a team in Vegas, fearing the possibility of games being tampered with or fixed. But now Silver is saying those days could be gone and happier days are on the horizon. In essence, if there's a chance the league could get a cut of gambling revenue, why wouldn't they want it? Money, money, money. Basically, one day you could whip out your phone and place a bet on the Lakers. Place a bet on the Clippers. Right from the comfort of your own home. From the comfort of Section 206 at Staples, if you prefer. Legalize betting on basketball. Hey, you got a problem with that?
No, it's where NBA needs to be. The NFL has built their empire on gambling and taking betting lines and getting people involved that way, and then it extends to fantasy football. The NBA needs to take that next level if they want to. That's the next step, although I'm a little concerned over Adam Silver saying we need to take part in it. I could just see him on the phone say, give me the Lakers minus 14. Kobe's not playing again. That can't happen. But as long as it's fair, on the up and up, I'm cool with it.
Now think about this. Given the issues with the referee Tim Donaghy a couple of years back, shouldn't the NBA be keeping its distance here?
Well, logic would tell you yes, but here's the thing. Something Adam Silver said was that as more states struggle to create incomes and to have a nice economy, more states are going to legally turn to sports betting in order to create some revenue. Just think of what happens when you put a casino with a sports book in your state. You create thousands of jobs, you bring in tourism, and you create more revenue. This is an economic thing. It's not just the NBA. That's why New Jersey was trying to do this, was to, Doug Christie, Chris Christie. Oh, God, I love Doug Christie. Trying to bring in some revenue to that state. So
no, Doug Christie couldn't do it unless his wife said so.
Oh, Jackie Christie, you go, girl. But I think Adam Silver is just trying to be a realist, and the NBA is way behind the NFL in terms of revenue. So, hey, why not jump on that bandwagon?
You talk about the money. Sports gambling in this country is a $400 billion industry. That would balloon if the pro leagues got involved. But isn't there a point where it starts to look like greed and fans are turned off?
Can I just
Greed
give an
in
example?
Sports?
Okay, exactly. Let's use the NFL as an example. The NFL is a league that just had a labor dispute between millionaires and billionaires. This is a league that denied for years a connection between football injuries and traumatic brain injury and refused to pay medical bills to players. This is a league that supports TV blackouts when people don't want to shell out $90 for a nosebleed seat to go to the games. NFL fans don't seem to be bothered, do they? They're
charging to get into the games. Why not get as much money as you can out of it?
Okay. Now let's put your money where your mouth is. I expect you both to go all in because it is time.
Rapid Fire, presented by the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import.
We will get through as many of these as we can. A new study found that 1,750 people are injured every year by foul balls at baseball games. Who's to blame? The fans or the teams? 2 minutes on the clock. Go, Jackie.
Getting hit with a foul ball, that's an inherent risk that you assume when you're a fan. Don't be looking at your phone. Keep your eyes on the play, kids.
Yeah, hey, don't leave your home. If fans are going to be bothered by that, just stay indoors and hopefully nothing runs into you or you run into it.
They say your best seat's always in front of your TV.
There you
go.
True.
In November, UCLA will retire Troy Aikman's number. Is he the best football player UCLA's ever had, eh?
No, Jonathan Ogden is the best football player UCLA's ever had. 11-time Pro Bowler, 9-time All-Pro, a Super Bowl, and considered the best offensive lineman of all time. He's my Bruin pick.
I'm going with running back Kenny Washington from the late 1930s. This guy was in the backfields with Woody Strode and a guy named Jackie Robinson. He led the Bruins to an undefeated season, their first ever. He had the most offensive yards in 1939 in the entire nation, and most importantly, he was the first African-American African player to be signed by an NFL team after World War II when the NFL had become segregated. That was a year before Jackie Robinson integrated baseball. This guy is awesome.
Grantland.com ranked all 30 court designs in the NBA. Somehow, the Lakers were #1. What will be the best part about going to Laker games this season, eh?
I think watching Kobe pass Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. Once he passes, he would have passed him last All-Star break. Once he passes him, then he's got Karl Malone in his sights, and if he decides to hang out an extra season or two, like I think he will, I got a feeling he might be able to catch Kareem. We'll see. But that's going to be really the big attraction.
Jackie.
I'm with A on this. It has to be Kobe. Please be back to at least 70% of the old Kobe. To me, the NBA just isn't right without Kobe Bryant on the court.
Frank McCourt's latest venture, he is co-owner of an international horse jumping circuit. He told an Irish newspaper he wants to build grand projects around the world with Guggenheim. And remember, he can buy back part of the Dodger Stadium parking lots to build a sports venue. Would you welcome McCourt's horse jumpers to Chavez Ravine, Jackie?
I love this guy. He's already offended and exhausted the entire human species, so now Frank McCourt has moved to horses. Leave the innocent horses alone. No, no, no.
I got a feeling the horse jumping crowd is not maybe a Dodger Stadium crowd, so I think he'll be all right if he goes that direction.
All right. Jackie, A, great job. Always good seeing you guys.
Thanks, you.